Hello everyone! The clip you're about to hear is from one of our exclusive Patreon episodes on a recent horror release, and just like all of our other episodes, it might include major spoilers for said horror release, so don't listen to it if you haven't already seen it. You've officially been warned. And if you'd like to hear the full episode, just head on over to patreon.com/horrorqueers and subscribe today. Without further ado, here is your exclusive Patreon clip. I have seen many people describe as the worst movie of the year.
Oh, come on. You and I are going to fight a little bit on this one because I don't think we're 100% in agreement, but this is by no means the worst film of the year. Come on.
Truthfully, I have also seen people say this is basically a sci-fi movie given a $100 million budget, and I don't entirely disagree with that. I don't disagree with that. But does that make it like the worst movie of the year for me? Absolutely not. Fun, like, spoiler, y'all, I actually did like this movie. I am aware I am in the minority.
No, I don't actually think you are. Like, maybe among critics, but I've been seeing a lot of audiences and just like other people in the community saying they had a good time.
Yeah, honestly, I walked out thinking I had a lot of fun. Like, I had a blast. Like, it wasn't, again, it's a 3-star movie because it's messy as fuck and there's plenty of issues with it and whatever. But overall, like, did this give me a lot more of what I wanted from The Meg? Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that is a very, very fair point, and you had just rewatched The Meg before this, so you went in with a direct comparison from the original and the new one. I think I watched The Meg last year when I did my talk on aquatic horror for 7th Row, and I remember thinking, okay, there's some good parts to this. It's a little too long. Obviously, we're making financial decisions that are compromising some of the creative decisions because these movies are huge international co-productions, basically just designed to churn out money. And all that to say, I like this movie a slight bit less than you. This is about a halfway 2.5 out of 5 for me. The parts that are stupid fun are very fun. And the rest of the film, unfortunately, is just a bit stupid for me. And that's less fun.
Yeah, I saw one review and it was like, it is faint praise to say that Meg to the Trench is a better movie than The Meg because it repeats all the same mistakes The Meg made, but it does everything The Meg did right, Meg 2 does better.
And almost bigger.
Yeah.
Like, the set pieces in this film seem like, oh, you like that part where the Meg comes towards the shore and gobbles up a bunch of tourists in the first film? Cool. That's now our last act of this movie, and that's why everybody likes it.
Well, that's the thing. Okay, so yeah, full disclosure, y'all. Like, I checked my letterbox. I had given The Meg a 2.5 out of 5 when I saw it on IMAX, 5 years ago.
That's a bit generous. I'm not going to lie. The way you talk about it, I would have thought it'd be about a 1.5.
Well, and I have it. I downgraded it to a 2. I mean, I think it's. I mean, I actually don't even think it's badly made. Like, I think that it's a well-made movie, and I like parts of it. But again, it's the same length as the sequel, so it's still a 2-hour, like just shy of 2 hours. But yeah, like it's basically like it takes 45 to 50 minutes for the shark to even show the fuck up, and then we have 40 minutes of basically recreating the third act of Jaws, where we're fishing for the Meg. And then the beach sequence, which again is the best part of the movie, is 15 minutes long.
Yeah. Which ironically is kind of some of the issues that we had with like Piranha 3D, right? Some of the best sequences are just a little too short and there's too much downtime. These movies seem to frequently confuse how much human characters we want versus how much shark nom nom action we want. And I don't know. I do think that Meg to the Trench has a better understanding of that because it seems to be spread out a bit more.
And there's also more creatures. I mean, like, I know that a big issue that you, as well as many people have, it, that the first 2 acts of this movie, like the trench sections, aren't very interesting. My main issue is that I think they're horribly lit. So, like, if you saw this in 3D, good luck to you.
I can't see a fucking thing.
But like, there's, like, creatures all over this fucking thing. And so, even though, like, I agree the human stuff is the least interesting part. And a big thing I hope that we get, if we get the third book adapted into a film, these characters need to be bigger, like caricatures, ridiculous camp, but the characters do play a lot of things very straight, which is kind of an issue where I can see where you might have like a lack of fun in those first 2 acts. But at the same time, I mean, fuck, like with Sienna Guillory, who is not barely a character in this movie, but like...
it's so frustrating.
But there's a part where she's monologuing and she just goes, and don't even talk to me about the ecosystem because who cares? And I was like, bah!
Yeah, see, that's great. But why isn't there way more of it? And why does she die at seemingly the 2/3 way marked through this movie?
I have no idea.
She's the fucking villain.
Atlas Avenue. A long stretch of road that encompasses everything the city of Kennett Heights has to offer. Neon lights, traffic, crime, the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and the craziest of characters. My office was above it all. My name is James Locke, and I'm a PI.
Hello, Mr. J. How the hell you doing today?
Good, Edith. Nearly every year I have a new case. New people to meet, new clues to discover, and new problems to solve. But I do it the old-fashioned way. No technology. Nothing post-1950. Hell, I don't even listen to podcasts, but you should. Atlas Avenue Beat is a spoof of the film noir genre with goofy characters, tons of wordplay, and non-stop raunchy humor. There's also 3 whole seasons out right now with more on the way. Just search for Atlas Avenue Beat wherever you listen to podcasts or visit us online at bloody.fm.